everyone. Welcome to this episode of the Dana Download, where I introduce you to really special people from all different parts of my life. And today, you are joined by two of my favorite people. You're in for a very special treat. We have Jodi Goldberg and Jimmy McLoughlin, my former Fox 5 colleagues. Jodi is my number one best friend. Do you think people know that about us?
I am honored, and I'm happy to say the feeling is mutual.
Jimmy, did you know Jodi and I talk every single day on the phone multiple times a day?
She usually tells me because she'll hang up with me to answer you. So
no, but usually I tell Jimmy I say hi, and I never hear her telling you that I say hi.
She never does, actually.
Well, I tend to send him to voicemail, and then I send him another text, and I just say, I'm on the phone, I'll call you back.
I love it. All right, we're hitting this mug. I'll move it. So first of all, I don't even know where to begin, but I've been trying to get Jodi on this podcast. You were approved by Fox to come on, but her schedule is so crazy as both of you are constantly chasing stories around Long Island. So today, you told me that you had a story on Poppy Lane in Glen Cove. And you know that Poppy Lane is very special to me because every morning when Jodi and I are on the phone, I say, I'm driving by Poppy Lane, wave hi to Poppy. And Jodi always says, hi, Poppy. So my grandfather, my Auschwitz survivor grandfather, who I called Poppy, who passed away 2 years ago, was so special to me that there was a street, Poppy Lane. So the fact that you had a story there today, the fact that you know how much it means to me, and now you're here is just amazing. So
what better time to stop by than when you're on Poppy Lane, so close to the museum, and finally we could record this podcast.
And you know, every morning I say I'm passing Poppy Lane, and then what do I say to you next?
Say hi to Poppy.
No, and then there's another street.
Then Jodi.
Then I passed Jodi. Then I passed Court.
Pass it on
And
the way
then I
here.
passed Jodi Court. Yep. All right, so I want to talk about everything you guys do and our history of working together. But first, Jodi, let's remember how you and I first met. You want to tell the audience?
It was back at LI News Tonight, right?
Yeah.
I had just graduated college. It was one of my first semesters, I guess you could call it. LI News Tonight, for those of you who don't know, it was a program at NYIT taught by some professionals. I mean, the best in the business. So many professionals who are actively, journalists today who have since retired have gone through this program. And that's when I met you.
Yeah, it was such a unique program. Basically, it was a full-blown news station run by students at a school. But they won Emmy Awards and Folio Awards, which are Long Island Awards. And they taught us really how to shoot, write, and edit our stories. And it was amazing. I would not have gotten my first job in New York if it weren't for that. And you could probably say the same, right?
It was the place to go if you wanted to become a journalist, if you wanted to be a reporter, or even an editor, a photographer. Yeah. This is where you'd go, LI News Tonight.
And it's such a shame. It closed after 30 years. Oh, so
it was
sad.
the best.
It
was the best in the business. Did you know about it?
I didn't until I started working.
Yeah. So, Jimmy, how did you first get into the business?
So actually, I went to Quinnipiac University. I went to film school. And the only reason I even ended up in news is I needed an internship to graduate. And I got one at News 12, and they hired me right out of school, and it just kind of started from there.
Wow. So were you a natural with the camera right away?
It took a little bit of time.
I'd say so.
Learned as I went. I learned from some of the best. We have some of the best people here on Long Island that I learned from, so.
Jimmy, you're a total perfectionist with your shooting, which I can appreciate, and I know Jodi can appreciate, and it's just such a pleasure to work with you. So Jodi is the Long Island reporter. I worked for Fox for the last 6 years of my broadcast career, and when Jodi was out on maternity, did I fill in for you both times you're out on maternity?
I think so.
I think both times.
Yeah.
Both times with my older daughter in 2019 and then again in 2021.
But wasn't I on No, so I guess
timed it was timed out very well.
So right as soon as I was filling in for you, and then I had my baby as soon as you got back, pretty much.
I think both times.
Yeah. I think so, yeah. We
Both times.
We got very lucky. So I loved working with you, Jimmy. I know before we started rolling today, I was like, do you remember any of the stories that we did? It's so hard because, I did it for 12 years. You've done it for a million years now since I left. We did so many stories every single day for all those years. So Jodi, who is very possessive of Long Island,
hold on. Let's clarify it for some listeners. I would not call it possessive. I would call it passionate.
So
I'm
when
very
I filled in
passionate
for
about
you,
Long Island.
Jimmy and I couldn't remember a single story we did together. And then Jodi right away was like, I know what you did. Do you want to talk about that story?
So that particular story, it was Adam Sandler was on Long Island, and was it the IHOP story, or was it that he just started playing with?
It was a story about Adam Sandler sightings all across the area. Maybe we'll get his attention now if we talk about the story.
And we met up with these kids playing basketball, and I guess he had joined them to play basketball or something like that. And for your stand-up, you were talking about taking a free throw, and you took the shot, and you got it first shot. And it's just funny because then this year we did another basketball story and took like 45 takes to get a shot in with Jodi.
That's because when you were rolling, when I made the basket, I was saying, and look, this is how you do it. And that was the one and only time I happened to get it in, and you weren't pressing record.
That's why I
but
told
it's
you.
okay. It was okay.
I did say right before that, always roll on the practice shot because that's going to be the one you're going to make.
That's
and
so
I
funny.
think I said, wait, you don't have to this time. But
was-
yes, Dana was a natural.
No, I'm a total tomboy. I like grew up playing basketball. All I wanted, so most girls have like princess stuff all around their room. When I was in 5th grade, my bedroom was the Bulls, the Chicago Bulls posters all around with like Jordan and Pippen posters. I had a huge basketball on the back of my door. And all I wanted was a chain basketball net for my birthday that year.
Like one of those on the back of the door with the little ball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like those detachable
I'd be like,
ones.
She scores. I was really into
That's
it.
old school. Pippen,
I know.
Jordan.
People who know me then can't get over that I'm like can be a girly girl now, and people who know me now can't imagine me like in that phase. It's really funny. So Jodes, you're an Emmy winner.
I am.
And you're so impressive. I know how much you put into every story that you do. Is there one story, I know it's impossible, but that like stands out that meant more to you than anything else? It doesn't have to be a sad story.
Well, this past December, we actually put together a special Fox 5 on Long Island, and it's 30 minutes of the best of 2025. And it was some of our most powerful stories from the year and looking back. And even one of those that wasn't in this special was about, right off the top of my head, 100 years old. Her name's Jerry Leo. She could plank.
Oh my
for
goodness.
2 minutes.
Did you plank with
2
her?
minutes. I planked with her. I have to say I was huffing and puffing. And Jerry, and I just spoke to one of her best friends yesterday, is actually learning how to text message on a smartphone.
Wow.
But she was able to do it. And it's stories like that give me, that just ignite my passion to want to tell, stories in our community. I mean, so many people don't know Jerry even existed, but to talk about her as an inspiration, we're talking 6 million views that story got. And also the special, just stories about a medical student who wanted to be a volunteer for a lesson about kidneys, and she found out that she had a mass on her kidney, and it led to a surgery and ultimately being able to save her other or part of that kidney. Another story about a woman who goes swimming in Long Beach every day. It's
And
something
you went swimming with her
I sure
in
did.
December, right?
I sure did.
Did
And
you go
Jimmy,
in, Jimmy?
No,
I did not.
That would have been something.
Were you freezing?
It couldn't have been colder. It could not have.
I think I would be rushed to the
I was
hospital
in a
with
heated
frostbite.
vest and I was still shivering.
Remember, I was always freezing? Yeah, I don't know how that would work.
I got in my car and my nail beds felt cold. Like they were like frostbitten. But
Oh, my
stories
Jodi-isms.
so special.
I have a list on my phone of Jodi-isms. That's what we call them. Anytime Jodi has like the best expressions. Like, give me an example right now.
Jesus Christmas.
And another one. Wait, I'm gonna pull them up really quickly. Hold on.
Let's see.
Jodi-isms.
Just unique ways of saying things that are a little out of the box.
it's not
Jimmy and I
coming
work
up?
together every day. He knows
Jodi expressions.
how out of the box I am. I mean, by no means are our days boring.
Holy Moses, dear Andy. Smells like the inside of a pumpkin.
You don't say these things?
That's dynamo. Don't have a canary. Okay,
It's a
you get
common
the
one.
you get the point. Oh my God, Dana, that looks insatiable. By golly, I like them.
When was the last time you used by golly in a sentence?
I have not used by
Should we
golly
bring
in
it
a
back
sentence.
in 2026?
I think we should. You just brighten up my day, and so do
Gotta
you,
start
Jimmy.
keeping a list.
Oh, do you remember? So the last story I ever did for Fox, I was on maternity, and I'd been working so hard on this story, and I went into labor 2 weeks early, and you came to my house, and I tracked my voice in front of my house. Do you remember that?
Yes.
I was like 4 days postpartum.
Yep.
That was so special. And that was a 9/11 story on heroes who lost their lives in 9/11. And that was really special. But now it's all like coming back to me. So what would you say are the biggest difficulties to working not only in this industry, but on Long Island? Is there a lot of pressure and how do you keep up with all the stories all the time? Obviously I could answer from my perspective, but I want you to share with the viewers.
Being on Long Island, that's probably one of the most difficult parts of being out here, keeping up with everything. We're the only two representing the station out here. Yes, some of our colleagues live out here, except it's having the pulse of what's going on. We're the eyes and ears of everywhere from Manhasset and even farther west out to Montauk. If anything happens, we're the ones covering it. And so it's knowing exactly what's happening, when it's happening, who to call if it's happening, and then reporting on it accurately in a timely manner. And so that's, I think, what's most difficult and stressful about it.
So what are your sources? Do you have police officers who you're close with who give you a call? Are you listening to radio scanners? Like, how do you hear?
It's fully just, it's an immersive experience. It's always having your phone on. It's always having your, my scanner. I have the scanner app. It's just being in the know. It's checking in with the police department in Nassau and Suffolk County every morning at the beginning of the day to say, hey, did anything happen overnight? It's reaching out to the district attorney's office in Nassau and Suffolk.
And you live for this.
I love it.
I know
this
you
is
do.
my favorite thing to do. I took a trip to Vermont not too long ago, and I was driving through Ludlow. And I said to my husband, Mark, I said, could you imagine if I had to start over in a different market and have to learn about different, towns and municipalities? And we know everyone. We know the legislators. We know the assembly members. I mean, you name it, and we've met them out here. And even Jimmy, the way you get around.
And I will tell you this, I hope you stay in news forever, as you should. But since I've left, everything I've learned and the connections I've made have helped me so far, so much in this new role that I'm in. And yes, it's amazing to see legislators that I've interviewed for so many years come to our Holocaust Museum events and show their support for our community, and just being able to get our center so much media attention and get them on the news. So no matter what, like having this type of job is gonna take you so far. And I'm thankful for every second I spent in the industry. I really am. Obviously, commuting to and from Long Island just became so difficult for me with 2 kids. But I miss it sometimes. Sometimes, keyword. I don't miss
What about the next snowstorm? I'll call you and I'll say, hey, I'm out reporting in it with Jimmy.
I don't miss reporting in the snow and the rain. But just like yesterday, I shared a story I did in 2019 on the turmoil in Venezuela then. And I
saw that.
I missed writing stories that like really, really mattered and profiling like incredible people. But I still get to write now. I still get to do that.
You have the best of both worlds.
I do.
I love telling, and I think it's mutual. We love telling positive stories these days. I feel like the world needs positivity, especially in this day and age. And so that's some of our favorite stories, the feature stories to tell these days. Yeah. And so...
Jimmy, so you're a newly married man.
Yes.
Mazel tov, as
Thank
my
you.
people would say.
I told him we should have stepped on a glass.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk about this after. Jodi was your officiant.
She was.
Incredible. I also want to know about your firefighter position. Are you chief now? Because we haven't
yes.
spoken in a while. Amazing. All right, so you're a hero. Tell us about your department and what you do for them, how long you've been with them for.
So I'm going into my 16th year. I'm currently the chief of the department.
I say he's the chief.
Every day. She'll call me, she's like, how's the chief? I'm like, I'm fine, thanks. But we're a small, we cover maybe 2 square miles. It's Sound Beach Fire Department.
So that's really out there.
It's like an hour east of here. And it's a town nobody's ever heard of. So I usually say, I'm like 10 minutes east of Port Jeff. And people are like, oh, okay, I know where that is. But no, we get a lot of, we do both fire and EMS. We get a lot of very crazy and interesting calls for a small town.
I remember when we worked together, it would be like 7 a.m, and you'd be like, "Hey, I just got home from," like you operated on no sleep. Do you still have to do that now that you're chief?
Yeah,
You
I
do.
pretty much, there are days where Jodi will know I'll get like maybe a half hour
You
sleep
still
before work.
respond as chief?
Yep.
Like in person?
Yeah,
Wow.
so whenever I get on scene, even if one of my assistants or another officer's there, once I get there, I pretty much take command and I'm in charge of the incident.
That's pretty amazing and very impressive. Well, thank you for your service and everything you do. So talk about Jodi being your officiant. Did she do a good job?
Oh, she did a great job. I mean, when Rachel, my wife, when Rachel and I decided on
Rachel's
Did
so
you hear him
sweet.
drop that W word so naturally, Dana?
I throw a random name out. Nobody knows what I'm talking
Rachel's
about. But
so sweet, by the way. I just adore her. It's just, I know I haven't got to know her too much, but just we've met several times now, and just she has the biggest smile on her face, and she's
yeah,
so supportive and so enthusiastic for everything that you do.
yeah, no, I definitely got lucky. And that's why when
She
you
got
know,
lucky too.
Oh, thanks.
So
Sometimes.
so how was it? I mean, you got your officiant license for this. That could not have been easy to do.
She also spelled her name wrong the first time.
I'll never forget.
and
Jimmy's
she read a few drafts to me as well.
I did. I worked very hard on it. I spelled my name Goldd instead of DBERG. And Jimmy and Rachel called me and they're like, I think you spelled your name wrong on the certificate to become an officiant.
Wait, so the official certificate came back with your name spelled wrong?
Yes, and so I filled it out again. And so
my
yes,
goodness.
he is really married. Anyone, listening, he is in fact married. I say I married him, and then people look at me and they're like, "What? You married your cameraman?" I'm like, No. I was the officiant. I officiated his wedding,
I have heard of cameraman reporters getting married.
Yes, of
It's a
course,
thing.
but not in this case. He is my best friend. I love Rachel,
Excuse
his
me?
wife. Yes,
Hi.
we're all best friends. Yes, don't miss. There's no mistake there. Make no mistake about it. But being up there with him and Rachel, it was so special, especially to marry two people who you know and you like so much. There was so much love there.
I know, the pictures
especially
looked
in their
amazing. I'm
case.
so happy for you.
Thank you.
So let's talk about like some funny stories that you've done over the years.
Jimmy?
Funny stories. It's funny, and just a real quick side note, you mentioned before that it's so hard to think of stories that we've done. When I was working at News 12, one of the reporters I worked with, he said, you could ask me what my favorite story is and I'll have to think and I'll totally blank. But if you say, hey, do you remember the time that we did the story with this person? I'll know every detail about it. So I'm just trying to think of what our
Same
funniest
with me.
story could
Same
be.
with me. Well, we can go back to Adam Sandler really quickly. So he pulled up to an IHOP with his daughter, and there was a long line. And he dresses like a bum sometimes, and like on purpose. Obviously, we love Adam Sandler. And he walked in, and he was with his daughter, long line, and the woman at the front didn't recognize him, and said, "Sorry, sir, like it's going to be like an hour wait." And surveillance video caught Adam Sandler just walking away, no problem. Then he showed up to a random basketball court with a bunch of kids playing. He's like, "Hey, can I play with you guys?" They all got a picture with him. So we were like chasing Adam Sandler all throughout Long Island. It was so fun.
We were hoping we run into him
Yeah.
or he'd see us and come back, but it didn't happen.
We've done, every type of story you can think of, from like power outages to cicadas overtaking Long Island to
That was random. How did you get
you and I went on a boat with my friend Gary.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oysters.
Oysters or mussels or something to do the
To clean
repopulate
out
and
the
clean,
water.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so fun. We did so many food restaurants. Oh, Zola Bakes. Give our friend Sam Zola a shout out.
Delicious, my favorite.
Best rainbow cookies ever.
I helped her during the holiday season. I was making boxes for her.
That's so nice.
She's crushing it.
I
It makes me
know.
so happy. Women-owned businesses.
Yeah.
And she's
and here on Long Island.
and here on Long Island, and she does it all herself, with help from her partner Shira. And it's amazing what they do. And they taste good and they look beautiful.
Oh, they're the best rainbow. My husband hates rainbow cookies, and these are the only ones he'll eat.
See, they're my favorite. And even I was just going to say, for
Oh,
someone
yeah,
who's
remember? Yeah.
for someone who's gone and they've gone, gotten bigger, usually that'll lose a little bit of quality, but it seems like hers are still made,
I know.
just as good, if
They're
not better.
amazing.
We interviewed the Long Island wise guy.
Oh, yeah. Well, for people who don't know about him, because I actually really didn't realize what a big deal he was. Who is the Long Island
So
wise
we
guy?
don't know, and I'm not going to tell you,
Well,
and neither is Jimmy.
well, you know.
I'm not saying anything.
So he has what? This huge Instagram
He has
following?
a large social media presence, basically recapping all of what goes on out here on Long Island. And for years, he's kept his identity a secret. And so, he's the man with the monocle in his Instagram.
And you said his own family doesn't even know who he is.
And even, his wife and children do, but even his,
the children keep it a secret?
I think so. I don't know. They're, they're a little bit young, and so I don't know if they've put it together.
The wife
That'd be a very hard secret to keep. But his mom, during Thanksgiving, has questioned who Long Island Wise Guy is. He's had to step out of the room to talk about it and, repost certain things on social media because they don't know it's him.
So he just posts about all happenings across Long Island?
And it's not only him. He comes up with these very creative captions, but if anything happens, he usually gets these posts from followers before we do. There are times where news pops up on his feed before we even hear about it, which is just, it's a testament to his following.
Did you have to sign an NDA when you interviewed him?
I promised him. He just trusted me.
That you
and
weren't.
That's the
so
trust.
What was it? You disguised his voice and put him in shadow?
Yep, we did. Jimmy shot him in a silhouette. We disguised his voice. I said, to be honest with you, we typically do this when we interview members of MS-13 or victims, but if you want to conceal your identity, you can count on us. We will not blow your cover.
Was he happy with the story? Did he post it to social media?
He posted it to social media. It did very well. And he was another story, and we featured his story in our Fox on Long Island special.
So we have about 4 minutes left. I'd love, Jimmy, obviously I started a Holocaust series at Fox, and I brought it here to hmTV. And you got to shoot, was it one story or multiple stories with me?
I think the one that I remember specifically was the woman who we went and spoke with her in her living room.
Yeah.
I don't remember her name, though.
And I feel so bad. I'm blanking on it right now, too. And I know I've interviewed almost 200 survivors.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's going to be a lot harder for you.
No, but I actually know every single one and every single story. But if you, I need to look up the date.
I remember it was winter.
If you said her first name, I would know the last name in 2 seconds.
I could look it up.
I know, but that was so special. I remember just being with her family. She passed away a few years ago, and so many of the survivors I interview pass away just sometimes within weeks, sometimes within months, and I always just feel so lucky I was able to capture that story. But you were on the beginning of that journey with me.
I was, and I liked being there because just the way that you told the story and the way that I was able to visually tell it, it just was a good feeling to know that we're at least when I was working with you, able to keep that history alive. And I'm really, glad that you're still able to do that.
Thank you. Well, if you want to take on freelance gigs, we can always use extra cameramen here.
Perfect.
And editors too. So I ask a question to all my guests. I'm sorry I didn't give you a heads up, but the question is there one moment in your life that changed how you see the world?
Jimmy, I insist you go first.
This might be a little cliche, but a couple years ago, I went through a cancer diagnosis, and with the way that I'm not the kind of person that ever asks for help. I'm usually the one who's offering it, and the way that the community stepped up and helped me out, and the way that you see you go through a struggle that you really don't expect you're going to go through, and that kind of opened my eyes to if the little things in life don't matter as much, always try to be optimistic and find the positive in every situation. And I think that that's something that I'll take with me probably forever.
I'm so happy you brought it up because I wanted to ask you about it as we started talking. And I realized, I said, I didn't ask him beforehand if he's comfortable talking about it. You were so brave through this whole thing. You're right. I never heard you complain. And you were so upbeat. And do you feel like that positive outlook and that energy that you had helped you get through this? And you're in remission for how long now?
They officially said the word remission a couple months ago.
Oh, wow. So really recently.
So very recently. I'd say the attitude is a big part of it. And you talk to people and, doctors say that, it definitely helps. And you're like, all right, well, it's definitely the medicine. But I'd say the attitude was really what got me through most of the days, is just trying to find something positive every day.
It was honestly such an honor to know you, and it was especially an honor to know you when you were going through it because you were so inspiring, and I don't think a lot of people could have handled what you went through the way that you did. So
thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing with us. And Jodes, it's okay. And
you can't make me go after that answer.
You insisted that he
That's
goes
true.
first.
I don't know which was worse, but I think becoming a mom, I think it helped me kind of take a back seat. Work has always been a priority, and it still is in many ways, but it has allowed me as a mom to realize there are more, other priorities, different places I need to place my focus and different love to give elsewhere. Yeah. Being there for my kids and being out here on Long Island and having to juggle is just as important as, turning that story.
Oh, I could talk to you guys forever. We're pretty much out of time. Was there anything that you wanted to talk about before we wrap up today?
No, I'm so glad we finally got to do this.
I love you guys so much. I'm so happy for you, and I'm sorry I couldn't be at the wedding. It looked amazing, and this was amazing. So anytime you guys want to come on, you're on Poppy Court, just call up. If Priscilla, our tech director, is free, she'll have you right in the studio.
We made it happen, and you can check us out on Fox 5.
Yes,
we love supporting
promote.
your stories and working alongside you.
When
I'm so
talk
glad.
about Fox, I still say we. Like, I still feel like I'm part of it. I mean, I left on the best of terms. I left on my terms. But I'm so grateful for everything that, the station gave me, and have best friends from it.
You had a platform to tell such important stories.
And I still get to bug you every day. I still feel like I'm part of it.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. Love you both so much. Thank you so much to all of you for listening. We have Jodi, give us your Instagram handle, and Jimmy also, if you want them to follow.
Jodi G News.
Mine is at JimmyMac092.
Amazing. So for all of you listening or watching, however you have this podcast, thank you so much for your support. Follow these two. They're amazing, and hope to see you for the next episode of the Dana Download.